Hello, welcome to the Breathing Yoga channel. My name is Lindsay and I will be going over some of the different types of yoga out there. So these are either really popular or even some fad yogas in there. And yeah, just so you have a little bit of a better idea of what kind of yoga style would be best for you to start practicing. So obviously you can play around with a whole bunch of different styles and you might like 5 of them, or you might just only like one style and just stick with it. So I'm just going to briefly let you know what there is out there and let you know what they're all about. So first off, we have Hatha Yoga. So Hatha Yoga is a very good foundational yoga. There's not going to be any extreme advanced poses in a Hatha Yoga class generally, so it's good if you're a beginner in the yoga world and you just want to play around with and like just try a whole bunch of yoga moves. So Hatha is a very good style. It's pretty good just to start off with. The next style we have here is Yin Yoga. So Yin Yoga is a very deep stretch yoga. So you're going to be holding a pose for 3 to 5 minutes. And basically it's like all on the mat and you're just deep stretching. So deep twist, deep hamstring and hip openers. So it's a really good style of yoga to practice if you do things like going to the gym and working out a lot and building muscles, but you're not really stretching them out. So this is a great counter balance kind of yoga style there. So that is really excellent. Next we have Vinyasa Yoga. So Vinyasa is not really recommended for beginners, but it's very flow. You're going to have lots of, as we call it, downward dog flows. You're going to be inhale moving, exhale bending, that kind of thing. So it's really a good flow class. It's good if you kind of want to up your level and get a little bit more of a workout out of your class. The next style I have here is Power Yoga. So Power Yoga is really great for strengthening. So it's kind of like the opposite of the yin. It's the yang to the yin kind of thing. It's very focused on strengthening. You'll be holding some poses. Depends on the type of teachers. That's the way I teach the Power Yoga is kind of holding a few poses and just really working on the muscles and strengthening the body, which is really excellent, especially if you want to, up level your class. Generally, there is a little bit more advanced poses in this type of class, so I do not recommend it if you're a very new beginner. But if you want to up level and try some new poses and that kind of thing, it's great to try out. So I'm just looking at my list here of all the different poses so I don't miss out on anything. Ashtanga, which is based on the 8 limbs of yoga. So I actually wrote a blog about this, so I'll put that blog link in the description below and you can check that out if you're interested in what the 8 limbs of yoga is. But that is what Ashtanga is basically based off of, just incorporating everything yoga into the practice, which is really awesome. The next one I have here is chair yoga. So chair yoga is done on a chair. Sorry, I have chairs over there. It's basically you do pretty much 100% of the poses on the chair. You can do a bunch of assists on the chair, so balancing, so you can stand up and just hold the chair with your hand and use it for a balance. So it's a really great class if you're kind of have low mobility. It's kind of hard to get down on a mat all the time, down and up. If that's like a little harder for you, this is really great to do on a chair. Then we have aerial yoga. Aerial yoga, if you've ever seen the silks, I'll put a little picture right there in the video, but the silks in some studios have this, and it's really great for kind of lengthening the spine, and also really works out my arms a lot every time I do it. It's a really great dynamic kind of pose, especially if you're not too afraid of heights, which I am, but I still do it and love it. Next we have acro yoga. So acro yoga is really fun. It's partner yoga, pretty much what it comes down to. So I follow a whole bunch of people on Instagram about their acro yoga, and like the poses they get into are like crazy and like really high, really dynamic and all this stuff. It's a really fun kind of yoga to get into. It's like great for being silly and really trying new things, and also relationship building. So whether that's with your partner or someone, coworker, or you can even do like a whole group at work and do an acro yoga, and it's a lot of fun. So that's great if you want to play around with and really build strength. You have to have a lot of strength to lift somebody up in the air and to kind of plank yourself in the air as well. The next I have on the list is hot yoga and Bikram yoga. So they're a little bit different, but they're both basically hot yoga. So hot yoga is a little less heated than Bikram yoga, and it's more varied. So you'll get a power yoga class, you'll get a vinyasa class, you'll get a hatha class. All of those types of classes you can get in the hot yoga, which is basically just in a heated room, body temperature generally, and with humidity. So it's really fun. That's one I actually practice a lot as well and teach, and it's great to get your sweat on, to really detoxify the body just because you're getting rid of all that sweat. I think it's a really good workout if you're looking to get into yoga for more of a workout base. Then that is a really good place to go to. And then Bikram yoga is, if you've ever seen, it's an actual guy. His name is Bikram, and he started this whole yoga train, and it's his style, and the flow is the exact same every class. So if you're the type of person that doesn't like anything new, doesn't like any surprises, just wants to get on the mat and you know exactly what you have to do next, that's a great yoga practice and place for you to go to. Again, it's going to be a little bit hotter than hot yoga, so you're really going to pour down the sweat, and it's a little bit more pushy, I find. So they really push you into the pose a little bit more than typical hot yoga place. Next I have on the list here is Iyengar yoga. So Iyengar is really great because it's very precise. Iyengar is all about the details and getting a move on straight. So, posture perfectly, or as perfectly as you can, given your body size, shape, and how your body is built. So say we have a side lunge. This is great, but in Iyengar, you want to really push down and really get like perfect pose. So it's really great to, have a good foundation in yoga and really fine tune your yoga poses. If you're like, yeah, I think I'm doing it good, but it's getting a little boring, well, try Iyengar. It's just awesome. I'm going to maybe butcher this name, but Jivamakuti yoga, which is a combination of physical, ethical, and spiritual. So when I was doing my research, because I don't really practice this one, sorry guys, but apparently a lot of celebrities do this style of yoga, so that's pretty awesome. And it's basically like the ethical part of it, so you're going to want to be a vegan and be good to the earth, maybe minimalistic a little bit, and spiritual and physical, and just combines it all. So it's actually pretty interesting practice. So if you're looking for something that's really ethical and spiritual, look into this style for sure. Next I have is two really interesting fad kind of yoga styles. So nude yoga and beer yoga. So nude yoga, you just do probably like a hatha yoga, and you just do it in the nude, your birthday suit. And a beer yoga, instead of drinking water, you drink beer. And enough said. Don't need to explain that anymore. The next ones I have here is prenatal and postnatal yoga. So if you're a mom or mom-to-be, this is great yoga to kind of get in tune with your body and just kind of prepare for childbirth. And just like, I'm not too sure, I haven't been through this, but it's really good for mothers to be. And then postnatal is for, you know, if you have a kid. I think some of the classes you can bring your little baby into the class and you do the yoga around them, or also you can not bring your child in and just do yoga there, just kind of working on the tummy area, because we all want, you know, to get back to normal after pregnancy. The next is kids yoga. So this is mainly for kids. Adults can join in the class, but this is going to be a really fun style. And you basically change the words in the pose. So instead of, instead of tree pose, you're like a willowing willow, like it's just really fun and whimsical kind of style of yoga. Next we have is park yoga. So it's yoga done outside in the park. Pretty explanatory. So you're kind of breathing in nature. It's a really good kind of style to just kind of involve your environment and to really be relaxed. It's really great to be outside, have the sunshine on your skin, get some of that vitamin D, and just kind of have a good yoga session. So that one's really fun to try as well. There's senior yoga. So senior yoga is a little bit different than chair yoga because senior yoga can be done also on the mat, and it can also be done on the chair and even more gentle on the chair. So that's a little bit different there. There's also restorative yoga. So restorative yoga is known as the yoga of props. It has so many props. You have blankets, bolsters, all this kind of other things. I actually did a video on props 101. So you can check that out in the description if you'd like to see what kind of the props, what a bolster is and all that. So you basically use all these props in restorative yoga, and it's really good if you have any injuries and if you just want to kind of like relax. It's basically like a super comfy nap. The way they set you up in restorative is actually meant to be comfier than sleeping in bed. So it's a really great style to try out. The only thing is it's really slow and you're going to be laying there for a while. So if you get antsy a lot, this might be a class that's very hard for you to do. Next, we have yoga that is specifically for men and women. So there's some poses in yoga that are kind of better for women, and then poses that are better for men, just based on our bodies and how our bodies are built, where we carry our stress in our shoulders or in our hips, and kind of mobility issues and all that kind of stuff. So that's great to try out as well. Then we have Anursa yoga, which is like a mix between Iyengar, which we mentioned before, and they mix in yoga philosophy. So from the origins of yoga, and they just kind of mix that in a little bit more. So that's also nice to try. And then Kundalini. Kundalini, I don't know if you've ever heard about it. It's a very popular style. It's very spiritual and healing kind of yoga. So if you're looking for a very spiritual, transformational kind of experience, and you're looking to really get healed, like physically, mentally, spiritually, this is a good practice to look into. So those are the different types of yoga that you can get into. There are tons more out there. These are just a few of kind of like the more popular ones. For beginners, I recommend Hatha yoga, chair yoga, and yin yoga, just to kind of slowly start yourself off. Also, now that I think about it, restorative yoga is also really good for beginners. So just those types of styles that are going to slowly get you into the practice, just so it's not too fast and you're like get lost and then you're like, I don't like yoga at all. So just try out the different styles. I mean, there's a saying in yoga, everyone can do yoga, and there's a different modification, a different style that will fit you the best. So just go out there, try it out. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, write them down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. Anyways, my name is Lindsay and I wish you have a wonderful day. Namaste.